Some twins share everything, but what happens when they share the same mind? In the silence of a small Welsh town, two sisters refused to speak to anyone but each other. They moved in perfect sync, thought the same thoughts, wrote haunting stories of death and madness. And then one of them died without warning. This is the story of the silent twins. June and Jennifer Gibbons were born in 1963 to Caribbean immigrant parents. They lived in a quiet town in Wales. Identical twins, beautiful. But from the very beginning, something was off. The girls barely spoke to anyone, not their parents, not their teachers, only to each other in a strange, secret language no one else could understand. Teachers thought they were shy. Doctors called it a disorder. But the truth was far darker. June and Jennifer created a world of their own, full of dolls, characters, and stories that revolved around death, revenge, and destruction. They locked themselves in their room for hours, writing horror stories. Tales of boys possessed by demons, of girls who killed their parents, of towns that burned to the ground. And their bond? It wasn't sweet, it was obsessive, controlling, terrifying. If one didn't blink, the other had to blink. If one refused to eat, both starved. It was as if they didn't exist without the other. As teens, their behavior worsened. They set fires, broke into buildings, and were soon arrested. Sent to Broadmoor Hospital, a high security psychiatric ward where serial killers are locked up. For 11 years, they were trapped inside, drugged, watched, studied. But even behind locked doors, they stayed silent. They only spoke to each other. Doctors began to fear them. There were rumors that they could control each other's hearts, that one would have to die for the other to be free. And then, in 1993, it happened. Just one day before their release from the hospital, Jennifer turned to June and whispered, "I am going to die today." Hours later, she did. Her heart just stopped. No illness, no drugs, no injury. She laid her head on her sister's shoulder and left. June didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just whispered, "Now I am free." June lives on today, alone. She never returned to Broadmoor. She speaks, she writes, she is normal. But no one can explain Jennifer's death. No medical cause, just a decision made between the two. What really happened between them? Was it mental illness or something far more terrifying? A pact, a curse, or a soul that chose to disappear so the other could breathe? Some stories don't need monsters. Some stories are monsters. If this sent chills down your spine, there is more coming. Subscribe to Misemind for real, disturbing tales from the corners of human history and beyond. Until next time, watch the silence, listen to the shadows, because the scariest horror is always true.